Have you ever finished a private moment alone and thought to yourself, why do I feel more drained than relaxed? You're not alone. A lot of older men reach a point where something feels off, not physically painful, but emotionally flat, like a sense of emptiness or regret that follows what should be a release. Most men don't talk about it, but the truth is, the way you approach self-pleasure, especially as you get older, matters more than you think. There's one common habit that silently wrecks both your physical vitality and emotional energy. And if you're doing it without even realizing it, you're not just affecting your health, you're unknowingly making it harder to experience true satisfaction. Here's what most older men ignore: mindless stimulation. See, for decades, self-pleasure has been treated like a quick fix, a tension release, a button you push to feel better for a moment. But science and psychology tell us that your brain and your body are far more sensitive to how you engage with it than you might realize. Let's break it down. When you were younger, hormones did most of the work. A single thought, a glance, a scent, and you were good to go. But as you age, your body's chemistry changes. Testosterone naturally declines, blood flow becomes less consistent, dopamine receptors become less responsive. That's not a defect, that's biology. But here's the kicker: older men still use the same old patterns: fast, numb, detached, no awareness. And the one thing they do that drains them most, they disconnect from their own body while doing it. It's not the act itself that's harmful. It's the way you treat it, like a mechanical chore instead of a mindful, connected experience. Think of it like this: would you eat a full steak dinner while staring at your phone, barely chewing, just shoveling food in? Probably not. You'd miss all the flavor, the enjoyment, the satisfaction. You'd end up full but not nourished. That's exactly what happens when you treat self-pleasure as a mechanical task. Your brain responds to presence, and when you're disconnected using fast stimulation, skipping foreplay, relying on fantasy without real bodily sensation, you train your brain away from intimacy. You train your nervous system to seek quick artificial highs instead of natural, embodied connection. Over time, this creates what scientists call reward system dysfunction. It's the same pattern that shows up in food addiction, gambling, even social media use. Quick hit, no depth. And when this becomes your normal, it can show up in some deeply frustrating ways: difficulty maintaining arousal during real intimacy, decreased motivation or drive in other areas of life, emotional dullness or irritability after climax, even early signs of performance anxiety without any partner involved. But here's the good news: your body is incredibly adaptable. In your 60s, 70s, and beyond, your brain can rewire, your energy can return. But you have to change how you engage. Let's talk solutions. Real ones. First, start with slowing down. This isn't about performance, it's about connection. The next time you're alone, don't rush. Instead of going straight to the finish line, try something simple. Breathe. Take a few deep breaths. Feel your chest rise. Feel the air. Let your nervous system slow down. This isn't fluff, it's biology. Deep breathing activates your parasympathetic nervous system, the part of your body responsible for relaxation and pleasure. Then, focus on sensation over stimulation. What does that mean? It means paying attention to how things feel instead of just what you're doing. Light touch, different textures, changes in rhythm. You're retraining your brain to experience real, full-body sensation, not just fast release. Another key shift: ditch the screen. Seriously, studies from Harvard and Stanford show that excessive screen use during self-pleasure actually reduces your sensitivity over time. Why? Because your brain becomes conditioned to external, artificial imagery instead of internal sensation. It's like living off candy instead of real food. You start needing more and more to feel less and less. This doesn't mean you never use visual aids. It just means don't rely on them. Instead, try using memory, imagination, or better yet, body awareness. Your touch, your breath, your heartbeat, these are the real sources of long-term pleasure and health. And let's talk posture for a second. It might sound strange, but where and how you sit matters. If you're hunched over in a cold, stiff chair, you're cutting off circulation and reducing your body's ability to respond. Instead, lie back or recline. Create a comfortable space. Warmth, safety, comfort, these all signal to your nervous system that it's safe to feel good. And yes, your brain needs that reminder as you get older. Now, one of the most overlooked pieces of this entire conversation is aftercare. Most men skip this, but what you do after matters just as much as what you do during. That sense of emptiness or regret that many older men feel afterward, it often comes from abrupt transitions, from pleasure to guilt, from relaxation to judgment. That emotional whiplash takes a toll instead. Try this. Once you're finished, don't rush to clean up and move on. Just stay, breathe, put a hand on your chest, feel your heartbeat. Remind yourself, this is okay. My body is allowed to feel good. Why is this important? Because older men, especially those raised in certain generations, were taught to disconnect. to push away emotion, to hide vulnerability, but your body needs the opposite. It needs permission to feel. And the more you allow that, the more satisfaction and even energy you'll reclaim. Now, you might be thinking, this all sounds nice, but is there actual science behind it? Yes, plenty. A 2022 study published in the Journal of Sexual Medicine found that men over 60 who practiced mindful self-pleasure reported higher testosterone levels, better erection quality, and greater emotional resilience than those who used fast, screen-driven habits. Another study from the University of Wisconsin showed that older men who integrated breathwork and body awareness into their solo time had a 32% improvement in self-reported vitality and mood, and were more likely to initiate real-life intimacy with their partners. Even the Mayo Clinic has published guidance on how relaxation, circulation, and mental presence are directly linked to male vascular and hormonal health. You don't need to chase intensity, you need to build connection. And that starts with breaking the one habit most men ignore: disconnection. So the next time you're alone and feeling that urge, just remember, this isn't a task. It's a practice, one that can strengthen your health, your energy, and even your emotional well-being. If you slow down and show up for it, you've earned the right to enjoy your body without guilt, without rushing, without numbing. And if you're struggling with sensation, don't see it as failure. See it as your body's way of asking you to slow down, to shift, to return to presence, because the truth is, the most powerful form of pleasure isn't in how fast you finish, but in how deeply you feel. And for older men, that shift can be life-changing. If you found this message helpful, you're not alone. There are millions of older men silently struggling with these same patterns. Let's change that together. You can start by simply paying attention the next time, giving yourself permission to be fully present. And if this resonated with you, I'd love for you to stick around. There's so much more to share: real stories, real science, and real tools to help you feel better, stronger, and more connected. So go ahead and hit that subscribe button and turn on the notification bell. You're not broken, you're just learning to reconnect. And that any age is powerful.